Okay.
Hi, I'm Marissa Glenius. I'm going to be a sophomore at Harvard next year, and I'm planning on majoring in archaeology and getting a minor in music, and I'm originally from Cleveland, Ohio.
Hi Marissa, could you tell us why you thought about applying to the Athens Fellowship Program?
I actually heard about the Athens Fellowship through my school. I take Greek at school. I'm in the Modern Greek program at Harvard. And I just took Intro Modern Greek, and my professor sent out the email from Mr. Stavridou about it, from Leon. And it sounded like a really interesting program, so I had emailed him and asked him about some information. I told him what I was interested in, especially in the Greek archaeology aspects, and he said that there would be some things on this trip that would be really beneficial to me, so I decided to apply.
All right, so in the past week or so, what have you found to be one of the most beneficial parts about the Athens Fellowship Program? Like what have you learned?
What have I learned?
Yeah.
I've learned a lot. Unlike a lot of kids here, I don't have an I don't have a background in economics, or I don't have a background in government. So I kind of came in with not as much experience, but still I felt like I was pretty eager to learn. I think the most shocking thing that I've learned, I was just talking about it with Katherine, actually, one of the other girls on the trip, saying that the education system here is probably the most shocking thing and the most intriguing in Greece, because you hear everybody say how terrible it is, and it's just shocking to me that everybody knows it's terrible, including people in the government and people outside of the government, and yet it still is terrible. And so I think the most interesting thing was definitely today when we were just even talking about it with the other fellows. It's been really good because all the fellows, even when we're not in meetings, we talk about the issues that we've been talking about and continue discussing possible ways to change the problems that are going on here. And I just find that really interesting.
So out of all the visits we had and all the people we met, what was one or two of the most interesting ones for you?
Most interesting?
Yeah.
Well, today's day was really interesting for me.
Well, I'm sure. Archaeology.
Because we went to the new Acropolis Museum, which I wish I had gotten to spend more time at, but still was really fun. And then the National Archaeology Museum was obviously really beneficial to me. But other than that, I think the most interesting ones for me was definitely the meeting at the education office, because we all brought up some interesting points that I don't think, although the representative we had from the ministry was very good in the way that he answered the questions and stuff, I feel like we kind of showed him not only how aware we are of what's going on, but kind of helped him show that other people are aware of what's going on, and there needs to be something that can be done, especially about teachers who aren't getting fired even though they aren't performing, and the public education system, and how, although you don't have to pay for it, it's still, you still have to pay for it just to pass the tests, things like that. And I think other than that, the most fun one was definitely visiting the Cypriot embassy in DC, because the Cypriot ambassador was so funny. And it's a problem that I'm embarrassed to say I never knew even existed.
Oh, the Turkish troops.
Until a couple of weeks ago, when I started looking up things about the program before it came, so I'd be prepared for meetings, and talking with my dad and him explaining to me what happened. And now I'm so glad for this program, because now I feel really up to date on foreign issues.
All right, and to conclude our little interview, if there's one thing you can recommend to next year's Athens Fellows, what would it be?
To the actual fellows?
Yeah, the kids who will be going on next year's trip. Or those who are interested, maybe.
Don't be afraid to not apply or to not really immerse yourself, even if it's not the thing that you're really interested in. I think, especially because I don't have a background, I found myself kind of holding back on asking some of the questions I wanted to ask, just because I was worried about people saying something, or asking a question that wasn't a legitimate one. And I think as the program progressed, I feel like I've learned a lot more, and I'm really glad that I was able to apply and to be accepted and to come, because although I got something different out of it than everyone else, I think I've learned a lot, and it's something that I think everyone should get to do. And plus, Greece is awesome. Everybody should come, especially if you haven't been in a long time. Athens is an awesome city. So.
Yeah, it is. All right, thanks for your time, Marissa.
Sure.